Let's take a look at the new Safari tabs features. So here I'm in Safari. It already looks a little bit different. So let's open up some new tabs. Easiest way to do that is using Command T or press this plus button to do another one. Or you can go to File, New Tab, and now I've got 3 tabs open here at the top. The way these are framed is different. The color is filling the whole page, and if you turn on the favorites bar, you will notice that it is now below the tabs instead of above. But still, it doesn't look as it was announced by Apple. It was all supposed to be by one line, with address field built into the tabs. Well, they probably didn't want to go so extreme if users don't like it, and instead of having it always on, it's actually a feature. Let me show you where to find it. Go to Safari Preferences and then go to Tab. And here you will see the option to switch between the two styles. So Separate is there by default, but you can switch to the compact view and then you get to see it all in one line. The difference is that the address field is now built into the current tab. So here I can actually type in this tab, since this is the one I'm currently using. If I switch to this tab, then this becomes the active address field. I think this view will appeal to people who wants to save some space, have as much space available for the page itself, and have the top bar takes up a little space as possible. The separated one is more useful if you are working with many tabs at once, so you will rather have the search field above and all the tabs under. And to blend it even better, you have another option here, to show color in the tab bar. This is again a new feature on Safari 15. Notice if I turn it off, it will separate the top bar and it will have the clean neutral color. But I like to have the page flows all the way up, taking the background color, so I will leave it on. One last preference I want to show here is automatically collapse tabs titles into icons. If you have more than 12 tabs open at once, it will not fit on the page anymore and it will be hard to navigate between them. If I turn this feature on, Safari will automatically hide the titles and uses the website icons only, so it keeps it all compact. But here is the moment we are getting to group tabs. Previously, you may have 10, 20, 30 tabs open all crowded into the tab bar. But now with the tab groups, you can group them together and only see some tabs at a time. So to use tab groups, start by going to the sidebar. Click here to show the sidebar. At the top, you will see all your ungrouped tabs. It says there are 3 of them. Now if you want to create the tab group, you can click one of these buttons and it gives you the option to create a new empty tab group or create the tab group with the tabs which are currently shown. You can also find this in the file menu if you want. So let's say you want to create a tab group with these tabs. I will do that and name it. Once I create this tab group, it will move it down in the list and put on top new ungrouped tab. So I can go up here and it's basically my home page, ready to make new search. I can add new tabs, create new tab groups for fun, work and so on. I can switch to any tab group and it remembers exactly which tab I was viewing, even my position on the page. Now let's see what we can do with these tabs. The most obvious option is to control click it, right click it, or press with 2 fingers on the trackpad, and you will get the set of options here. This new tab, I can move it to a tab group, but the easier way is to actually drag and drop it there. One interesting thing to note is if you have ever pinned tabs before, you still have that option here, but you can do it only in the ungrouped tabs. If you go to the grouped ones, there is no option to pin it. The reason for that probably is that these tabs in tab groups already act like pinned tabs, so it's not that you can't pin them, because they are already pinned. If I right click any ungrouped tab, I can still see this option. Another good thing is the tab overview, which is this square icon. You can click it either on top right corner or next to the tab groups. Good thing is that it will always show you the overview only from the tab group you are seeing. Another thing to note is that tab groups are saved in Safari itself. They are not just part of the window. If I open new window, I still have access to my previously saved tab groups. So the tab group aren't tied to a specific window. They are in every window. Also, there are few keyboard shortcuts to move between tabs and tab groups. You can see them in the window menu. Like before, you can go to previous tab and next tab using Ctrl Tab or Shift Ctrl Tab. You can also go to the next tab group with Shift-Command down arrow and the previous one with Shift-Command up arrow. I don't really use these shortcuts, but it's good to know they exist. At the end, when you are done with organizing new tab groups, you can simply close the sidebar. You don't need to have it always on. Instead of always having to bring up the sidebar, you get this little pull-down menu here, and you can switch to a tab group that way. So after updating to Safari version 15, take some time to play around with these tabs. Decide whether you like the compact or separate version. It's so easy to switch between them. Personally, I didn't like the favorites bar below the tabs, but if I take the most used websites I frequently visit and put them into separate tab groups, I don't really need my favorites to be visible at all. I hope you found this useful, and you can also let me know your tips. How did you organize your tabs, and so on. I like to learn new things as well. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.